This video includes both semi-auto pistols and double-action revolvers. As we begin this video, all guns are unloaded and made safe to handle. The only ammunition present is the dummy training rounds, with the exception of one live round, which we will take apart and show you how it works. The target here shows you the safe direction that we will be pointing our pistols.
Wu and I are going to help you learn in this video how a semi-auto pistol and a double-action revolver work. But before we begin, let's take a look how ammunition is made. This is called a round. It's made up of 4 parts. The bullet is a cone-shaped piece of lead that comes out of the barrel when the gun is fired. The casing is usually made out of brass and is very hot after the gun is fired. The powder is a propellant inside the casing. The primer causes the powder to ignite when you press the trigger.
Now let's learn the basic parts of a semi-auto pistol. The magazine holds the rounds. This is sometimes called clip. However, the correct term is magazine. The magazine is inserted into the gun. The slide cycles the rounds from the magazine into the chamber. The barrel directs the bullet to the target. The chamber is at the end of the barrel and holds the rounds, ready to fire. The muzzle is at the end of the barrel. The ejection port removes the empty casing after the round fires. The safety prevents the gun from firing. The sights are for aiming at the target. The trigger causes the round in the chamber to fire. And finally, the frame holds the gun together.
Here's how a semi-auto pistol works. Rounds are loaded into the magazine. This one is loaded with dummy training rounds. The magazine is inserted in the gun. The slide cycles the rounds from the magazine into the chamber. You have to cycle it manually the first time you make it ready to shoot. The slide reloads a round into the chamber automatically after each shot. After a round fires, the empty casing flies out of the ejection port.
The safety prevents the gun from firing. To shoot the gun, move the safety to the firing position. To prevent the gun from shooting, move the safety to the safe position. Keep this in mind about safeties. Not all guns have external safeties, and safeties operate differently from gun to gun. Always ask the gun's owner how the safety works.
Now let's learn how double-action revolvers work. The cylinder holds the rounds. This one is loaded with dummy training rounds. The ejector removes the empty casings after the rounds have fired. The barrel directs the bullet to the target. The muzzle is at the end of the barrel. The sights are for aiming at the target. The trigger causes the cylinder to turn and the hammer to cock. Then the hammer drops and causes the round in the cylinder to fire. And finally, the frame holds the gun together.
Here are the trade-offs between the 2 types of handguns. The revolver is easier to use, just pull the trigger. The downside is that it takes a little longer to reload and it holds less rounds. The semi-auto pistol is more complicated to use, but the upside is that it holds more rounds and it's easy to load.
Get to know your gun. You need to understand the handgun basic operation so you can communicate clearly with your instructors and your fellow shooters.